Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. And I just realized I forgot to put my earbuds on, so let me do that real quick. I think the sound do that. So hopefully you can hear me just fine. I'm checking to see if these are connected, and I don't know how to do that. So we'll have to wait. So anyway, it is Monday night about 7 o'clock. I'm still playing with different times that I'm coming on live. I thought I would give this one a try. Hi, Michelle, can you hear me? Because I just put my earbuds in after I started, and I'm just checking. I would love it if you would say hi and let me know that you're watching. I love comments. If you can share, all of that would be great. And I'll pick a winner. I forgot to pick a winner from last week's live, so I just did that just a minute ago. And the winner is Cheryl M. So Cheryl, I will send a prize off to you. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure I have your address, so we should be all set. So tonight I'm doing what I call a faux double stamped vellum, and I call it faux because I'm not doing it the way most people do it, because I make a mess when I do it that way. So I want to show you a different way to do it. Hi Edie, hi Debbie. So this is the card that we're going to make. Oh, let me switch these screens so you can see better. Here is the card that we are going to make. So there's vellum on the top here that is embossed, and usually you flip the vellum over and stamp on the other side for this technique. But vellum, ink on vellum takes an incredibly long time to dry. It's slippery, so the stamp can slip a little bit and make a mess. And even drying it with the heat tool, I have a really hard time not making a mess. So we are going to do it a different way, and I think it looks just as nice. So we are going to be using the Irresistible Blooms stamp set. This is one of those online exclusives. It's not in a catalog, and I love it. I use it a lot. I love these flowers. It has dies that cut out the flowers, the leaves, extra leaves, a wreath. It's really fun. And we're going to use the birthday sentiment. I need a lot of birthday cards in September for people. I'm going to use the happy birthday from the Artistically Inked stamp set. And you can tell by how dirty this case is that I use this stamp set a lot too. All right, so we're going to get started. I put all of the measurements in the comments, but hopefully I didn't forget any. So we're going to start with a piece of vellum that's 3 3/4 by 5. So it's our vellum cardstock. It's fairly substantial and stiff. I like it. It doesn't get wrinkly marks in it. Hi Shelly, thank you for joining. So I'm just rubbing the embossing buddy on it, which is an anti-static tool, so that the embossing powder will only go where I want it. It will only stick to the Versamark ink. So I'm going to ink up this. I'm using the smaller flower, and I'm going to stamp it about 5 times on here. And I don't want to take too long. Versamark stays wet for a while, but I don't want to push it. I'm just kind of alternating where I'm going, and I'm going to go right off the bottom. Whoops! And throw my whole piece of vellum aside. Okay, so let's move these out of the way, and we'll put this in the embossing tray. I guess I don't want to hold it with that just yet. And I've dumped a couple of things of white powder into this, hi Deb, into this container so that I can just sprinkle it out. And a bigger container is easier to get the embossing powder back into when you're done. So I'm going to hold it right here. And I missed a couple pieces, so I'll just scoop up a little more. Then I'm going to flick any extra off. I've got it on my fingers. Be careful where you hold. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I am going to put my tweezers on it before I put it down. And don't forget to put your embossing powder away before you turn your heat tool on, or you'll make quite a mess with your embossing powder. It will go everywhere. Now, hopefully you've all embossed before, and so I'm just getting my heat gun. You have an embossing tool. This has a high and a low, and some people use the low with vellum. I find the vellum or the embossing powder doesn't melt very well with the low, but I do feel like I have to let it warm up for quite a while. So I have it on already. It's under my table at the moment, and hopefully with me having the earbuds in, that's not too loud a noise for you. And I'm letting it get nice and hot. And then when I go to use it, it should melt my embossing powder pretty quickly and not burn my vellum. I don't know if you can see that, but it's melting. It turns a shinier white. Let's see if I can hold it a little bit closer. Some people also heat it from underneath. I don't really find that to be necessary. I hope it's not super noisy. I did do one so that you didn't have to watch me melt the powder, but I absolutely love embossing and love seeing the powder melt, so I had to do it. All right, so there we have some nice shiny white flowers on our vellum. And just that alone on the Coastal Cabana is very pretty, but we're going to dress it up a little bit more. So like I said, the regular double stamped vellum, you would now turn this over. I want to make sure it's cooled off so I don't smudge it, and stamp on the back. But I'm not going to do that. I have a piece of basic white that is just 1/8 of an inch bigger on all the sides that we're going to put underneath this, and we're just going to do our stamping on that. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp this double leaf with Coastal Cabana. And so I'm trying to remember a little bit about where I have my flowers, because I want the leaves to sort of be coming out from the flowers. It's not exact by any means, and there is this frame around it which cuts off the edges a little bit. So it's not an exact science by any means. Just going to do a few more over here. And we can put this on top and see how that looks. That's pretty good. All right, and then just give that a little clean. Oh, I'm going to grab my piece of cardstock that goes on the inside of my card while I have this ink open and that big leaf stamp, and just put a couple of leaves right here like that, and that's going to go on the inside. You know what? And while we're doing that, we're going to get all of our Coastal Cabana stamping done. So this is just a piece of basic white that's about 1/2 inch by 3.5 or 4, and I'm also going to do my sentiment in Coastal Cabana. And this is the happy birthday from the Artistically Inked. So I have to get up high and look over. I think I wanted my sentiment a little bit more to one side. Well, that might be okay. That, and I have one more leaf. We're going to die cut a leaf right here for the front of the card. So I'm going to stamp one more leaf. Yay, Deb, you can make this. I bet it would look good in a variety of colors. Hi, Carrie. Thanks for watching. All right, so that's our Coastal Cabana stuff. Let me move these. And now we're going to add some little tiny leaves, a little sprig in Lemon Lime Twist. I have a little stray embossing powder on here. I keep a microfiber cloth around and it picks it up really well and cleans it off. Okay, I didn't like that scratchy feel. And I'm just going to do some Lemon Lime Twist little leaves and fill in a little bit with these. And this one I am turning around a little more. I didn't do that too much with the big one, but this one I will. And I think right there. And let's see what we think of that. Can you see that? I think that looks pretty good. Well, maybe I want one more. Well, our sentiment's going to go there, so I think that will be okay. All right, so now the other tricky part about vellum is that your adhesive shows through if you're not careful. So I'm going to use tear and tape. You can use seal also, but I find the tear and tape goes on a little bit smoother. There's not a lot of grip to the vellum for the seal, so sometimes it doesn't lay down quite right. And this edge of the vellum is going to get covered up by the frame, so you won't see the tear and tape through there. So I'm going to go right to the edge of the vellum, and I'm going to do all 4 sides because I want this to lie nice and flat. Anybody else love embossing? Let me know if you do, because I could emboss all day long. Love it. Love the shine. I love the finish. Okay, so now I'm going to take these off. And if you're having trouble separating these and getting that paper off, just take your bone folder and give them a good rub with that, and then it should come off a little bit easier. And I start next to the end, but not right at the end. And that way you don't pull the end back up with you. There you go. So I've got that. And I almost did that upside down, but there's a definite right side up. And you can see that you would see that tear and tape through there if you weren't careful. But this is going to get covered up. So I'm going to try to center this on my white. I know there's just a little 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. There you go. So that is all set. Now I've already made my frame. It's just a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of basic white that I used the 3rd largest of the deckled rectangles. You can see I just tried to center that on there and ran that through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And now we're going to put this right on there. And I'm going to do the same thing. And this one lines up pretty well. There's about, again, about 1/8 of an inch because I didn't want my background to hang out at all. So I can put the tear and tape on this. This is then going to go on the card base. So if any tear and tape sticks out a little bit, it will be okay. Hi, Josiah. My son-in-law is on here. Isn't that nice? Is Orson watching too? Hi, Orson. Nana says hi. So if any adhesive hangs over, it'll be okay because it's going to go on a card base. You probably could pop this up if you wanted to. I did try that with one. I liked it, but I also like it just nice and flat. So I'll give that a little burnish with the bone folder, and then we'll peel that paper off. I'm glad that they noticed, my son-in-law noticed I was on here because I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So hopefully nobody will call. There's always so many things to remember. I have a question for everybody that's watching too. What is your favorite set in the new mini catalog that's coming out? What is it that you can't wait to get your hands on, or you can't wait to make cards with? So I'm gonna turn this over and put this on, making sure it's right side up. Put this on top like this. I want to get that square. The grid paper comes in really handy for lining things up. There you go. So now that is on, and you can see how pretty, and it really, having it flat on there really brings the colors right up through that vellum, I think. So where's my card base? Is over here. This is Coastal Cabana. I think it's a color I don't use enough. I love it. So now this is just going to go on here. Mary, you like Oh Holy Night? That's a very nice one. And I'm going to just use, I could use the liquid glue for this now because the vellum is protected, but I'm just going to use a little seal and quickly run this down here. Okay, and we'll center this right on here. So it's really, this is a fun way of using vellum that's not too messy. The alcohol inks are great with vellum too, but again, that makes just a little bit of a mess. All about Autumn, Sweet Debbie. I'm not sure I know off the top of my head which one that is. Is that the one with the leaves or the one that has the rustic crate? I'm not sure. So I could put this way up here. I have a little space here in the middle. This could go, or I could put it on the bottom. What do you think? This one's on the bottom. Bottom or up a little higher? Holy Night and the leaves for fall. Yeah, Michelle says in the middle. I'm looking up, oh, I can't let you see the catalog yet. All About Autumn. Let me see if I can find it. I don't see one called All About Autumn. Autumn leaves. Let's see what's on here. And Fruitful Blessings. I like the Fruitful Blessings one. Autumn Leaves is pretty. Yeah, I'm thinking middle on this one. We'll go a little different. And I like to line this edge of the sentiment right up with the edge of that frame. Put some seal on there. And then I have to bring it a little closer to make sure that I'm getting it straight. I want to move it. So sometimes I try this. It doesn't always work, but I'm gonna put this ruler on the line on my grid paper. It's up too high. Down one more. And see if I can use that to help me go straight. Pretty good. Page 42 and 43. All right, Debbie, let me look one more time. Yes, the autumn leaves. Oh, All About Autumn is the name of the suite. I get it. Very nice. All right. That is a pretty suite. So we stamped this, and I already cut one out because even my mini stamp and cut and emboss machine shakes my table too much. And I'm just going to add that leaf right over here. I didn't leave as much room for that. I think I'll go that way this time. And again, I did not like that popped up, so I'm just going to put a little seal on the back of that. Oh, I don't like that upside down. I don't. Let me see if I can make it go this way. There we go. I have to do that. Okay, and then we can put a little bit of bling on it. I love these new iridescent basic pearls. And I also have, you got to vote, guys, some tinsel 3-pack. So this has Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and I'm thinking that's Coastal Cabana. It sure looks like Coastal Cabana on here. This card has the pearls, a couple of little pearls. This one, I didn't put any bling on. Here's another one. So what do you think? Should I try the green ones? I think I will. Let's do a couple of these little ones. We'll make them all a little bit different. I'm going to put one there. Oh, they're popping all over the place. Maybe one over. Oh, maybe one in the center of that flower. And then one more little one. Oh, Michelle said white. Sorry, Michelle. I overrode you. And I'll put the other one right there. I always like a couple of them together. So that is the front of our card. Now I did something for the inside. Here it is. Just a little leaf on the inside. So I guess I reached for my glue. I guess I'm usually a green glue kind of gal. I'll use my glue for this one. Put that on the inside, and there we go. We are all set. So I call that, hi Michelle, the faux double stamped vellum, because we didn't stamp on the back of the vellum, we stamped on the white underneath instead. So I hope that you like that. I hope this is a technique that you will try. As you can see, it's pretty quick, doesn't take that long to do. And I think it's really beautiful. I think when people open it up, they will very much like that. So remember to comment and say hi, so that I can enter you into the drawing at the end of the week, and maybe you can win a prize. Nina, I'm glad you like the green bling. Pink or purple too? Oh goodness, I don't know. That I always matchy matchy. Gotta have them match. Hi Martha. Yeah, you can always go back and watch the replay. Thanks, Barry. I'm glad you like the card. And if you'd also like to comment what you're anxious to see from the mini catalog, what you think you might like to make cards with, I always like to know what people are looking forward to. I've ordered a few things so far, but not too many different things just yet. So have a great rest of your Monday night. Thanks for watching. If you would like any help making cards or you have any questions, I would love to help you make cards and enjoy this hobby. If you need a catalog or you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. And truly remember to send your cards. Make people happy with them. Let them know you care. It's Mail a Card Monday. So thanks very much, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.